Welcome to Aspiring Hollywood. I'm Luciano Saber. My guest today is Hollywood publicist and good friend Anthony Turk, whose client base consists of very accomplished actors and personalities such as CSI's Eva LaRue, Young and the Restless star Sean Kanan, the great Ed Begley Jr., of course a six-time Emmy-nominated actor, Twilight's Justin Chun, and reality star Brandi Glanville. Anthony, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I have to laugh though, because I'm always giving my clients criticism about what they should and shouldn't do in interviews. Yeah. It's always easier to be a backseat driver,
right? But
I never do interviews, so all of a sudden I'm sitting here and I'm laughing because, anyway.
Now you're in the hot seat, my friend, and you're going to get pounded.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
No. It's a very, very friendly interview, and you know Aspiring Hollywood and what it's about. We had some of your clients on the show, and thank you for pitching in and helping out, by the way. I wanted to talk to you today about publicity, because so many people spend their money unnecessarily on publicity. This is a conversation we had off camera some months ago. So tell us, when is the right time for someone to hire a publicist?
Right. You know, that's a question that comes up all the time. People don't know when they have a project going on, they don't know whether it's time to hire a publicist or whether it isn't. And you know what? A lot of publicists would get mad at me for what I'm about to tell you. But you know what? I have to go to sleep at the end of the day, and I have to feel comfortable. And I don't want to ever take advantage of somebody before their time. But the thing is that a lot of people go after publicity way before they're ready. And you know, publicity, having a publicist, it's a luxury. We're the last person hired. You've already gotten the part on the show. You've already gotten the part in the film. You know, the deal's already done. We're the last person that comes on. And you have to be able to afford a publicist. You have to be in a position where you have the work there and you have the money to be able to pay for a publicist. And a lot of people try to jump in early, and I'll be honest with you, right now, especially with independent publicists, in this trying economic time, you know, publicists are dying for clients, and a lot of times publicists will take advantage of a young actor, even though they really shouldn't be taking their money and trying to get him publicity. They'll take advantage of it and they'll say, yes, it's time. I turn down more people than I accept, way more people. I turn down about 90% of the people who come to me because it's not quite the time yet. But that being said, some of those people that I turn down, when they do book jobs a couple years later, they've come back to me and they've said, you know, thank you, you were the only one who was honest. Everybody else wanted to take me on at the time when I really couldn't afford it and when it would have really been a struggle, and they realized that they wouldn't have been able to get them much. Ultimately, if you're an actor and you land a series regular role on a you know, big cable show or a major network show, then guess what? It's probably time to get a publicist, you know. But or if you get a big part in a film, but you know, even a big part in the film, unless you have a really memorable character in the film that really stands out, or unless you're, you know, in the top 5, you know, build in the movie, you know, it's not time. You know, if you're 29th build and you're playing the waiter, you know, don't bother getting, you know, a publicist. Congratulations on getting the role, but it's not your time yet, you know.
Okay, so we covered that part of it. Now, I want to talk to you about the people that are in a position to hire publicists, and rightfully so. But first, I want to talk to you about your clients. Can you tell us a little bit more about them?
Yeah. Well, I have Eva LaRue.
Right.
She's on CSI Miami.
Yeah.
And she's been on CSI Miami for 7 years now. Right. And I started working with her when she was in New York doing All My Children. And I was on the West Coast, she was on the East Coast, and we did it across country. And then luckily for me, she's a great girl, she moved to the West Coast and landed a big show. And so we've been together for 11 years.
Now that's a loyal client. Huh?
Yeah, she's awesome. And then,
great.
you know, I have Sean Kanan, who, of course, a lot of daytime fans know him from, you know, The Young and the Restless. He plays Deacon Sharp. It's the same role, ironically, that he originated on The Bold and the Beautiful, and they took it over to the other show. And Sean's great. He's been with me for 10 years. And he does Fox News's, he recurs on Red Eye, and also you see him a lot on HLN's Showbiz Tonight. Yeah. So Sean's a great client. And then my client, Justin Chun, who is, most people would know as Eric Yorkie from the Twilight movies. He has a big movie coming out this year. It's called 21 and Over, and it's by the producers and writers of The Hangover and The Hangover 2. And they're actually, this is, I believe, their directorial debut. And so that was a that's something that we're looking forward to later in the fall, that movie. And then, of course, Ed Begley Jr.,
Yeah.
6-time Emmy-nominated actor,
Wow.
big environmentalist, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great client. And then, you know, nowadays, you can't compete as a publicist unless you throw your hat into the reality arena. And so I have a beautiful, fun, great client who's on, she's the newest addition to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills,
Oh, wow.
Brandy Glanville. And so,
nice.
yeah, so my clients keep me busy, you know. And then I have some other clients too that, you know, kind of come in and out whenever they're, you know, working. And so, you know, I'm lucky. My clients stay with me a long time, and I have a nice diversity. And
All of your clients would make perfect guests on Aspiring Hollywood.
well, you've had a couple. You had Sean,
I
and,
did.
you also you just did Elizabeth Durazo from Eastbound and Down. And
Thank
so,
you.
Yeah,
That's great. So back to my question. Let's talk about what should someone expect from a publicist when they're ready to hire one?
You know, the thing about me is that I believe that when you hire a publicist, you need to find a publicist, whether it's a boutique firm like I have, you know, or whether it's a big company. You need a publicist who's going to do really well-rounded publicity for you, because I know a lot of publicists that when you sign on with them, all they do is get you to Hollywood parties, or all they do is just get you internet, or all they do is just get you radio. But you know, it's Hollywood parties, it's internet, it's radio, it's print, it's, you know, television. You need to do a really well-rounded publicity campaign for each actor. And I always tell people that if you're only looking to go to Hollywood parties, don't bother calling me.
Right.
Because, you know, there's only so many Hollywood parties that really make a difference, you know. And again, there's just few and far between the parties with the most press, you know, and you know.
What do you actually get from Hollywood parties? I mean, is it photo opportunities or something else?
You know, it just depends. It depends. You know, if maybe you're not as well recognized and you go to a big red carpet event where there's a lot of press and there's a lot of celebrities that are on a much higher level of the ladder in Hollywood, then it's good because you're being seen with, you know, with a more, you know, a higher level crowd, for lack of a better word. And so, you know, press can help there. Or, you know, if it's a big charity event, let's say it's something for UNICEF or something for cancer, then, you know, it looks good, you know, that you're showing up at an event where they're, you know, it's about somebody else other than Hollywood.
Right.
And so I think, you know, events can be great, you know, but then there are celebrities and there are, you know, red carpets where it's like for the opening of an envelope, you know, it's just like they're just silly events and really showing up isn't going to do much for anyone, you know.
Right. What should a producer, director, or actor expect within the first 3 to 4 months? Because I assume it takes a while to get a client exposed to the media.
Yeah, you know, I mean, sometimes, you know, sometimes PR takes a while to ramp up. You know, and again, a lot of it depends on the visibility of the vehicle that they're working in. You know, if it's a big primetime series on a Sunday night that, you know, that the network really advertises, and so the first week, you know, there's 20 million viewers.
Right.
Well, then all of a sudden, that client's going to be more, you know, in demand, and the press is going to be calling you more than likely, you know. But so that's a PR campaign that would start to ramp up really quickly. You know, other ones, you know, if it's on a, you know, if it's somebody hosting, you know, a TLC, you know, do-it-yourself show, you know, that might take a little bit longer because you got to, you know, really, the audience has to catch on, you know, you know, and it's just not as well known. So, you know, how long something takes, you know, it really depends on the project and, you know, and where the project's being shown.
Do you think that the more publicity an actor has, the better the chances of that actor being cast on other projects?
I've had clients that have been up for a project and the agent will call me or the manager will call me and say, hey, listen, it's between Joe and this other guy, Steve. And they'll say, listen, can you put together a press kit and shoot it over to me? And I'll go through and I'll put together an electronic press kit, an EPK, and I will shoot it over to the agent or the manager, and they'll forward it to the producers of whatever that project is. Because sometimes if they're on the fence and it's between two actors, the actor who can show that they have a little bit more name notoriety and that they've been in the public eye with a larger fan base, a lot of times that'll be the deciding factor. So I know that our efforts have helped people get work, you know, future work.
Let me ask you this. I know this may be taboo to ask, but what is the price range to hire a publicist?
It's not taboo to ask. It's just, you know, it really depends. It really, really depends. You know, a lot of times some of the larger firms, their prices are a little bit higher, but, you know, they have a lot more overhead. You know, they have big offices, they have a huge staff, you know. But that being said, some of the larger firms, if they really believe in a client that's on a series, you know, but maybe isn't making that much money, you know, they also are willing to take them on, and they can afford to take them on for less money. You know, it all depends on what the actor is making, and, you know, whether it's a cable show or a daytime show, a primetime show, you know, independent film, you know, a large budget film, medium budget film. It's just, you know, it really depends.
So going with a bigger firm may not necessarily be better than a smaller publicity office, because you'll be a small fish in a big pond. Is that right?
You know, the bigger PR firm versus the smaller PR firm, you know, there's pluses and minuses, pros and cons on both sides. With a bigger firm, a lot of times you're going to be overlooked if you're not a big household name, because they have so many household names, you know. And so sometimes, you know, what they'll do is they'll put you maybe with an assistant or with an intern, and they'll be working most of your account. And so that's a little bit of a disadvantage. But a real advantage would be if you're trying to get your client who's not a big name, like into a big movie premiere or a big party, and they're kind of hemming and hawing and saying no, then they can say, well, listen, if we give you, you know, like a Tom Cruise or a, you know, Cameron Diaz, then will you take this other client? And of course, the studio is going to say, sure, you know, and so that's an advantage. You know, with a smaller firm, obviously, like with me, when my clients call me, they get me on the phone directly. I'm the only person they really deal with. And so, you know, but a lot of times, you know what, well, not a lot of times, but sometimes I don't have certain access for them to certain things, because I don't have a big, huge movie star to dangle. Your
roster is very impressive as well, and all of your clients are working, they're popular, they have a fan base.
I'm lucky because my clients that I have, you know, they are very loyal, and most of them stay with me for a long time. And, you know, but I'm a workaholic. You know, I work, you know, for them, and they know that. You know, I'm constantly out there fighting for them and stuff, you know, getting them in the doors, and you know, garnering more press for them.
And I can vouch for this man. I mean, I've known him for many years. He's always hustling and always, you know, on the phone with people, including myself, and representing some very good people and doing a very good job, by the way.
Well, thank you. Yeah. But you can tell how hard I work, because I'm only 23 years old. And look at me.
I was going to say 22 and a half.
Yeah.
But we'll go with 23.
Yeah.
Any words of wisdom for an aspiring publicist that may be watching this interview?
The word of wisdom that I'd give an aspiring publicist would be to just get the hell out of my way. I don't want to see him. But no, I just think it's, you know what, I think, you know, learn everything you can from more seasoned publicists. Really pay attention. I think the publicists that I think are the ones who keep their clients the longest and who are more respected are the ones who are really honest with their clients. And you know, don't lie to clients. Publicists lie to clients all the time. And I think it's unnecessary. And also, you know, public relations is public relations. It's having good relations. And, you know, publicists sometimes have a reputation as being, they can be abrasive, they can be curt and rude. And it doesn't need to be that way. You know, you can be firm with someone and be polite, but, you know, the bottom line is you're representing the actor or the musician or the athlete or whomever it is that you're representing, and you need to be polite, you need to be cordial. I think so many publicists give other publicists a bad name because they are like rude and crabby, and I think, you know, if that's your demeanor and that's how you have to act, and I don't care how big your star is, you know, we're not curing cancer here. It's Hollywood, you know. I don't care how big your star is. If you have to be rude to people and be obnoxious, especially to the press, then it's time to get out of the business. That's just the way I feel about it.
What do you think your defining moment was to get to where you are today?
You know, I don't know if I ever feel like I finally made it. I don't know. A couple things come to mind. I think probably, you know, I had Eva LaRue for many years on All My Children. And then when she got the role on CSI Miami, people said, oh, you know, now she's on this big show. It's the #1 show in the world. Now she's going to go after a big PR firm. And she didn't. So, you know, we're still together. You know, so I'm very grateful for her loyalty and her friendship. That was probably one defining moment. I mean, there have been a lot all along the way, you know. You know, I have another client, I won't say the name on it for this one, but who's gone through a number of agents and managers since we've been together for about 6 or 7 years, and I'm still here. And so that's really nice. So I thought, well, I'm doing something right.
Yes, you are, and that speaks volumes of your service. Now, let me ask you, if somebody in the audience has a question for you, how can they contact you?
They can go to my website. It's www.turkentertainmentpr.com. And there's you can email me if you have any questions or concerns or whatever.
Thank you so much, Anthony, for joining us on this great, aspiring Hollywood show that needs more publicity, by the way.
We all need publicity.
Yeah, we all need publicity, right? And thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you supporting the show every week. And please visit us again at aspiringhollywood.com, our YouTube channel, and also on Facebook. Until next time, I'm Luciano Saber. See you then.